Hi, I'm Krista and welcome to yoga. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to also go to my website kpoweryoga.com and sign up for my newsletter. So this is Opening the Vault Part 2. So today I'm going to go back into my classes once again. So this binder is about 1.5 years or 2 years worth of classes. My first Opening the Vault video, the Vinyasa flow video that I did, I mentioned how I handwrite all of my classes. I plan each one out. I don't teach the exact same class twice, and then I keep them all in the binder. Well, several binders. This is only one of several binders that I have with my class plans for the last several years. And every now and then I'll pull one out and I'll think maybe I'll do this class again, but then I end up reworking the whole thing anyways. So I might take a little bit of inspiration from it, but then I end up doing something different anyways. And when I write my classes out on a sheet of paper, before I go in to teach or before I do my videos, I do the same thing for my videos. I plan each one out. I always commit it to memory and then I just go in and teach. And I don't always stick exactly to it. Sometimes I'll need to change something. If I can feel something in my own body, I feel like I need to do a countering move or something in there. So I always leave room for changing things up a little bit if I need to. I don't stick exactly to my plan, but at least it gives me a guideline or something to follow. And then after my classes, I usually go through my plan and I edit it and I cross out the things that I didn't do, or I write in the things that I changed. So I always have a record of what I taught that particular day. So I thought it'd be fun to go through some of my old archives and pull out some old classes and just teach them the way that I wrote them, or the way that I taught them a few years ago. So I'm resisting the urge to rework them. I'm just going right from the original plan that I had. So the one that I'm going to do today is a yin-yang class that I first taught on September 22nd, 2018, so a couple of years ago. And so yin-yang is a balanced class. We start with the yin portion, which is longer held poses for connective tissues, and then we'll just move through a little bit of movement just to get the joints moving again. So going back to September 22nd, 2018, a little bit of yin-yang. So let's get started. Find a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall. So if you're sitting cross-legged, just switch the cross of your legs to the less comfortable position. And then close your eyes. Begin to become aware of your breath. Allowing your breath to flow, but with awareness. So since we're starting with the yin portion, let's just take a moment to bring things down a little bit. So we'll work with more of a calming exhale or calming breath. When I teach yin yang, I always begin with the yin. It's better to do your yin practice with cool muscles. So we get right into the yin practice first and then go through a little bit of movement after just to get the joints moving again. Yin is more effective when the muscles are cool. So let's take a moment just to focus on the exhale. Allow your inhale to be natural. Count the length of your exhale and then maintain that same count for a few rounds. Don't worry about counting the inhale, just focus on the exhale. Next round of breath, add a count to the exhale, make it one count longer. Just allow the inhale to be natural. Next round, add another count to the exhale. Continue, every couple of rounds, add a count to the exhale until you've reached your maximum without forcing anything. And then just maintain that longer exhale. So this is a little more calming when we focus on the exhale. Just make sure that you're not, again, forcing. If you're forcing the breath, it can actually have the opposite effect. It might make you feel a little bit agitated, and we don't want that. So just taking the exhale out as long as you can without force. full cycle of breath and then just let it go. Let your breath return to its natural flow, no need to count. And you can open your eyes. Extend your legs out in front, but no extra movement. So in the yin portion, very little movement. We come into our poses, we hold for an extended period of time, we release to a neutral position, and then we just stay still. Notice what you feel. So when you come into these poses, notice how you feel in the pose, and then also notice how it feels to release the pose. We'll come into Seiza now, which is a kneeling position. If you're unable to kneel, for some people it doesn't really work for their knees or their hips or their ankles. For many people it can be the ankle joint itself that's not happy in a kneeling position. So if that's you, you can stay seated, cross-leg, and switch the cross of your legs. So now you'll go to the dominant leg in front, so whichever felt most comfortable. Otherwise, we'll come up to our knees. And just sit back onto your heels, and that's it. So it's not a very complicated pose, but it's not a fun one for most people. I'll get the timer going right away here. Just sit, close your eyes. And now we'll establish an equal count breath. So now we'll be counting the inhale and the exhale, and we'll make them equal. So this is a balanced breath now. Doesn't matter what the count is, just make sure they're the same. Do your best to stay still. So if you need to leave this pose early, please do. You don't need to stay for the full duration. These are long held poses in yin. 3 to 5 minutes is the whole time I work with. All of our poses today are going to be 5-minute holds, but you don't have to stay that long. You can leave the pose sooner if you need to. If you come out sooner, come to a neutral position, stay still, notice what you feel, and just relax. And just relax and breathe for a little bit until we're ready to go on to the next pose. We say that the pose begins when you want to leave it. So what that means is when you start to feel a little antsy or you feel like you need to come out of a pose, that's when we need to figure out why we want to leave the pose. Is it painful? Then absolutely come out. If something's hurting, if your body's giving you clear signals it's not happy, then yes, come out of the pose immediately. Or shift your position and see if that helps, and if not, then definitely come out. Otherwise, if it's just your mind that's not really happy in the pose, that's something that we can breathe through. We can bring more awareness to the breath and try to commit to stay still. And discomfort also is possible. This pose, Seiza, is not really a comfortable one for most people, especially after we've been in it for a little bit of time. So discomfort is good, but pain is not. So if it starts to feel uncomfortable, that's okay. Just try to commit to stay still. Stay with your breath. Work with the equal count, and just try to commit to stay a little longer in the pose. If you really do feel like leaving and you're not in pain, try to commit to stay for another breath or two and see what happens. Even 5 breaths, just say, okay, I'll stay for 5 more breaths and see how that goes. And then at the end of 5 breaths, if you want to come out, then you can come out. Or maybe by that point, you'll find you can stay a little bit longer. Remember that you're doing your practice. Working with the equal count breath. So you're noticing your breath, but you're also noticing the sensations in your body. We need to stay aware of what we're feeling, and that's how we'll know whether what we're feeling is okay or if it's something that we need to come out of. Breath and count your breath, equal count. Turn this down a little bit here. Okay. As I mentioned before, kneeling like this can be hard for some people's ankles, just based on the structure of your ankle joint. So some people's ankles don't really appreciate this. If you're unable to kneel because of your ankle joints, it can be helpful just to take a small towel or even a t-shirt and roll it up and just slide it under the fronts of your ankles. So that can just give you enough support there to allow you to kneel and to sit in this pose. So you can try that. If it particularly bothers your ankles, you could try a little bit of support under the fronts of the ankles and see if that helps you. Continue working with the equal count. Coming out slowly. So from here, you can just shift your feet over to one side. If you're in Seiza, legs out in front. Stay still. So just extend your legs. Notice what you feel. Feel the sensations in your legs. This is important too. Releasing the pose, finding stillness, and noticing the sensations that you feel in your body. Sphinx beside me here, and Yuna just joined us as well. I'm not sure where Titus is, but Yuna likes to play with the blankets and the blocks over there. Oh dear. Alright, so from here we'll come on to our bellies. And come into Sphinx pose. Now, if you have back issues and this back bend is too strong for you, you can just come onto your belly and have your forehead resting on your hands. That is still a back bend. When you're laying on your belly, it's still a back bend. So we'll try for Sphinx pose. So sliding the elbows back so they're just in front of the shoulders. If you find that's too deep, slide the hands further away, and if you need to come down and bring your head onto your hands, perfectly fine as well. So find your position. Take an inhale and squeeze your glutes for a moment and lift your heart. So make it quite active. Then as you exhale, just release. Relax the glutes. You can let the shoulders shrug up a little bit if that feels okay. And just bring your head and neck to a comfortable position. So in a yang style class, this would be a supported cobra, and it would be very active. So the heart would be lifted, and we wouldn't be holding it for an extended period of time. This one, it's more relaxed, so you can just allow your head and neck again to come to a comfortable position. And try to keep the glutes relaxed as much as possible. So check in with yourself now and then and notice if you've started to tighten up. Try to relax and just stay still. If at some point you feel this is no longer okay for you, just come out, or you can slide your hands further away if you need to lessen the sensation a little bit. Remember that sensation is good, discomfort is good, but pain is not okay. If you don't really know the difference, always play it safe. So if you feel that, if you're feeling strong sensation and you're not sure if it's a safe sensation or not, just play it safe and come out of the pose. Eventually you'll develop the body awareness to determine that this is just uncomfortable, that it's not painful for me. And if you're not really sure, just always play it safe. Keep working with your equal count breath here. Try to relax. So with this pose, this one, we're bringing the vertebrae closer together in the lower back area. So we're working with compression, which is generally not a nice term, but in Yin Yoga, we're either bringing the bones closer together or we're pulling them apart. And it's all done to help keep our joints flexible and mobile and to stimulate them, and also to stimulate energy through the meridians. So I mentioned the variations with the arms, so you can take them further away if it feels too strong. You can also play with the distance apart that your legs are here. So if you find it's too strong, you can take them a little bit further apart, but once you take them wider than the hips, that's generally more intense. When they're about hip distance, that's usually a little less intense, and then if you bring them closer together, then it might be a little more intense again. So you just have to kind of play with that and see what feels the best for you. Remember that yin yoga is not so much about alignment, it's more about feeling. Noticing how the pose feels in your body. Equal count breath. Relax. So these poses look like yang yoga poses, but they are different. The intention is different, the way we do them is different. And the hold times are very different. We don't hold yang yoga poses for this long. Sphinx snoring a little bit over there. Notice if you've started to tighten up, try to stay relaxed. So we're looking for sensation, but if it's too strong, then we can sometimes start to tighten up our muscles to try to protect our joints, and then that's not really helpful either. So we want sensation, but not too strong. And then from here, you can slowly come out. So slide your elbows out, bring your forehead to your hands, and just relax. Come into Sleeping Swan, which looks like pigeon, but it is different. So please take your time as you come into this, and take the time to explore the pose and find the optimal position for your body. So don't assume that you know where your body wants to go. Explore and figure it out just based on the feelings, the sensations. So slide your right knee forward. Bring it straight forward from the hip to start with, and extend the left leg back. Just wiggle gently side to side, just to kind of let the hips loosen up a little bit. And now, before you just collapse forward, take some time to explore, to find the right position. So there's different things you can do here to explore the pose. This leg can come a little bit further forward, but this isn't yang yoga, so we don't want to go too far forward. If your pigeon is here, then Sleeping Swan, generally we have the heel a little bit closer to the groin. The knee can be straight forward from the hip. Maybe it feels better for you to have it on an angle. The pelvis, in pigeon pose, we're trying to square the pelvis. In yin, don't worry too much about that. Just find the right position where you feel something back in the right hip or the right glute area. So take a moment just to explore, to find the position for you where you're getting some sort of sensation, and then you can slowly make your way forward. You may even need to add a little bit of a twist just to get into the right hip, the right glute area. So make sure you have some sensation. This is not a relaxation pose. We are trying to relax into the pose, but we also want to feel something. So make sure that you're not just immediately collapsing forward and that you have no sensation at all. You do want to explore to try to find sensation back in the right hip or the right glute. So it's always best to take a little time at the beginning to explore the pose, to find the right position, and then settle into stillness. That is better than to come into a position that's less than optimal and to not get the full benefits of it, or to end up moving partway through because you've lost the sensation. So once you've got your sensation, once you've got your position, just settle in and relax. Reestablish your equal count breath. Remember that every time you practice will be a different experience as well. So the position that you're in right now may not be the same the next time you practice Sleeping Swan. So always be open to the sensations and to changing your position based on what you're feeling. Something else I should have mentioned as well is that if you're not okay in this position, you can always do this one on your back. So there is the option just to come onto your back and have the right ankle on the left knee, left foot can stay on the mat, or the knees can come in to the chest. Just make sure your neck is not straining. So if you bring the knees in and your head starts to lift or the neck arches, then just take your foot back to the floor. So there is always that option to do these ones on your back. So once again, these are personal decisions. So maybe you come onto your back and stay there for the full 5 minutes, or maybe you just do 2 minutes in Sleeping Swan and then rest for the last part of it. So these are decisions that you need to make based on what you want out of your practice. Stay with the equal count. Titus has chimed in though. Slowly coming up. So you can simply slide your right knee back, just come back into table pose. Stay for a moment there. And we'll set up on the other side. So I always, well generally, I shouldn't say always, I generally start by sliding my left knee straight forward from the hip and sliding the other leg back, wiggling just a little bit just to loosen up. And then from there I'll start to make little adjustments. I'll notice how that feels, and then if I need to adjust the position of the front knee or the lower leg. Make sure your knee feels okay, by the way. So if you start to bring your foot too far forward and that bothers your knee, then just tuck the heel back in a little bit. Remember, we're holding for a few minutes, so you want to be careful with the front knee for sure. And if you start to bring the shin more on an angle or more toward parallel the front of the mat, it can be hard on the knee when you're holding for a longer period. Which is why I said if your pigeon pose was here, you might want to tuck the heel in a little bit more for swan. So yeah, take your time to explore, to find the right position for you. Notice where your hips are, notice what you're feeling in the back of the left hip or the left glute area, and then make any adjustments that you need. And once you feel like you've got a stretch there, just slowly come forward. You might not be the same position that you were in on the other side. You might have a slightly different position here. That's okay. No, go by what you're feeling. Once you're in your position, commit to stay still, reestablish your breath. Keep working with your breath. If your mind is wandering, guide it back to your breath. Try to stay still. It's okay to move if you, obviously it's okay to move if you're in pain. You want to come out or adjust your position so that it's not hurting. You can also move a little bit if you feel like you've lost the sensation, or maybe you didn't really get into the optimal position when you started and you need to make a little adjustment. So a little bit of mindful movement is okay. We're just trying to avoid fidgeting or unnecessary movements. We want to try to stay as still as possible. But if you need to get yourself into a better position, or if you need to come out of a position that's hurting you, then that's okay. come out of this one now. From here, you can just shift a little bit over to the left. Slowly and carefully bring your right leg out in front, left leg out in front. Keep your legs relaxed. Keep your legs still. Just lean back for a moment. Close your eyes. Notice what you feel. Do one more yin pose and then we'll get into a little bit of movement. If you have a prop available, a folded towel or blanket, or if you have a thinner yoga block like this one, I recommend using it here for this pose. So we'll come into caterpillar, sitting on the prop if you have it. And we're sitting more toward the front of the prop, so it's just really to help tilt your pelvis forward so that when we come into this pose, we can target the proper area of the lower back. Some people, or many people actually, when they're sitting, they start to kind of have a rear tilted pelvis, and then it's really difficult to come forward and target the right area of the lower back, the lumbar spine that we're trying to get into here. So anybody can benefit from using a prop for this one. So legs straight, let your legs relax. So your feet will just drop open to the sides. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, just start to come forward. Bring your chin towards your chest and just allow your back to round. And relax. Stay still. So back is rounded, legs are relaxed. If it's okay for your neck, allow your head to drop, and that way we get the weight of the head, a little bit of extra tension, a little bit of extra weight from the head, so we can get a little more stretch into the lower back area. If that bothers your neck, however, just don't do that. Just keep your head lifted, but try to keep your lower back rounded. So that's the area that we're working with here. When we did Sphinx pose, we were bringing the vertebrae and the lower back closer together with compression. And now in this one, in caterpillar, we're making more space. And now we're working with tension. We're pulling the bones a little further apart. So just try to relax. You may find your body starts to come forwards. Let that happen. That's passive movement, and that's great. So when your body starts to warm up and loosen up, if you start to feel your body moving forward a little bit, just allow that passive movement to happen. Once again, we just want to avoid fidgeting or any type of mindless movement. If you need to come out, remember you can always come out. So relax and breathe. Stay with the equal count breath, a little bit longer if you can. Notice how you're feeling as you're holding this. So if your neck starts to not really like that movement with the head drop forward, you can lift your head for a little bit if you need to. Slowly make your way up, so just take your time. Take your hands back behind you, just lengthen your spine for a moment. And take your prop away if you're using a prop, and just come onto your back. So knees are bent, arms down by your sides. Let's just move the spine a little bit gently. On your inhale, roll towards your tailbone. Exhale, press your lower back toward the floor. So just tilting the pelvis a little bit slowly with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Going a few more times. One more time. Neutral spine. Take your feet out to the edges of your mat. Open your arms out to the sides. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the left. So nice slow windshield wiper. Inhale, come to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Left, exhale. Center, inhale. To the right. Keep going a few more. Use your breath, so not too fast. One more each side. Come up, bring your feet in, roll over onto your right side and just stay on your side for a moment. Hug your knees up close to your chest. You can even wrap your arms around your legs, tuck your chin, just round your back. And you can make your way up to hands and knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. As you exhale, round your back, tuck your toes, and lift your knees just off the floor. Inhale, knees down, lift the heart. Exhale, round your back, lift the knees. That's optional. You don't have to do the knee lift if you don't want to. Inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. One more time. Come into a neutral spine. Stretch your legs back into plank. You can drop the knees if you need to. Take your knees down to the mat. Extend your arms forward and push your chest back towards your thighs. So into puppy pose. Make sure you're not dropping the belly and arching your back here. So think of the shoulders, not the back. And come forward, tuck your toes under, and then push yourself back once again. Keep your toes tucked under, walk your hands back. So foot stretch, this can actually be done as a yin pose. I do it in my yin classes for 2 to 3 minutes. We'll just hold it just for a few breaths today, using it in the yang portion of our class instead. And come forward, untuck your toes. You can just tap your feet gently on your mat. And come back into child's pose. Take your hands down by your feet with your palms turned up. On your inhale, come up onto your knees, lift your arms, lift your heart, so a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, coming back down. Sliding forward into modified plank with the knees down. Inhale, lower down, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, coming back down. Push up to your knees, inhale. Child's pose, exhale, hands by the feet. And here's Tita's now. Inhale, up on your knees, reach your arms up. Exhale. Did you lose your toy? Inhale, sliding forward. Lower down, exhale. Cobra, inhale. Back down on your exhale. Pushing to your knees, inhale. Exhale, child's pose, hands by the feet. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Slide forward, inhale. Exhale. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, back down. Come to down dog this time. Inhale, push up to your knees. Exhale, down dog. Pedal it out for a moment. Press one heel toward the floor and then the other. Come up high onto your toes and press both heels toward the floor. And then come to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, use your legs, press your feet down to come up. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. Fold, exhale. Come up on your inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. On your exhale, bring your right knee up. Left hand to the right knee, right hand to your hip. Bring your knee across your body and twist to the right. If you like, you can wrap the right arm behind your back. Turn the upper body back to center. Cross your right foot over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, over. Reach up on your inhale. Exhale, let your right arm hang down. Take your both arms hang down. Take an inhale. Your exhale, chin to chest, and slowly roll forward. Let your arms hang. If your fingertips touch your mat, hold your elbows. Otherwise, let the arms just hang. You can do this with the legs uncrossed if you prefer to. Let the arms hang back down, slowly coming up. Tuck your chin. And then once you're up, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, a little bit of a back bend. And release. Uncross your legs, shake it out. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee up. Right hand to the knee, left hand to the hip. Bring it across, add a twist. You can wrap the left arm around if you like. And cross your left foot over, left arm up. Inhale, over to the right on your exhale. Again, you can uncross your legs if you like. Reach up, inhale, exhale. Both arms are relaxed now. Take an inhale. On your exhale, slowly come forward. So chin to chest. Take your time. And if your fingertips touch, hold your elbows. Arms hang down, tuck your chin, slowly bring yourself back up. And once you're up, shoulders back, lift the heart. And release. Now cross your legs, shake it out. One round of slow classical sun salutations. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, step the right foot back. Drop the knee, hold, lift your gaze. Inhale, back knee up, hold your breath, stepping back. Exhale, dropping knees, chest and chin, or just come down with a straight spine. Cobra on your inhale, down dog on your exhale. Right foot forward on your inhale, left knee to the mat. Inhale, lifting the back knee. Exhale, step forward. Come up, inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Leading with the left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left foot steps back. Drop the knee. So you were just in this lunge with the right foot front. Inhale, lifting the back knee. Hold your breath, step back. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Cobra, inhale. Down dog on your exhale. Left foot forward on your inhale, right knee to the mat. Inhale, back knee up. Exhale, step forward. Coming up on your inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. And step back a little bit on your mat. Hands to your heart. Take your feet out a little bit wider. Turn your toes out. Take an inhale. Exhale, come all the way down if you can. Bring your elbows to the insides of your legs. Lift your heart. If this doesn't work for you, just come and have a seat. And we'll come to seated without using the hands if possible. Try to keep your hands together. Sit back. Extend your legs. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Reach forward. Come back up. On your next inhale, reach forward and lift. And exhale, come into your fold and hold. So now this is an active fold. Caterpillar, if you remember, the legs were relaxed, feet were dropped open, and the back was rounded. So now we're doing Paschimottanasana, so a really active forward fold. Legs are straight, chest is lifted, back is long. So now it's all about stretching the hamstrings. Caterpillar was about your back. And obviously we wouldn't hold this forward fold for 5 minutes. Walk your hands up your legs, bend your knees, wrap around, hold a wrist, pull yourself through your legs. And come onto your back. Feet are hip distance apart, just like we did with the pelvic tilts, but now we'll take this up into bridge pose. So feet hip distance, arms down by your sides. On your inhale, lift into bridge and just hold there. Keep your hips lifted and just heel toe your feet together. So into a narrow bridge now, so the insides of your legs are together. On your exhale, slowly come down. So your legs are still together, insides of the feet are touching, arms open to the sides. Take an inhale, Knees go to the left on your exhale. I can hear Sphinx snoring again. Bring your knees up on an inhale. Exhale, knees to the right. Bring your knees up, take your knees into your chest, hug your knees, just stay like that for a moment. Bring the knees in close, feet active. Close your eyes, just breathe into your legs. And take your hands onto your knees, knees together, circle a few times clockwise and counterclockwise. Hug your knees, inhale, curl up on your exhale. And come back to your mat, come into Shavasana, find your comfortable position. Legs straight, knees bent if you like. If you'd like to relax your lower back a little more and the hips maybe, feet can come out as wide as your mat and the knees can drop in. Hands can come to the belly. That can just be a nice way to relax your back. So find the position that feels best for you. Close your eyes. Relax. So let everything go. Feel your body as it sinks into your mat. Start to bring movement into your body, your fingers, your toes. Give yourself a stretch if you like. When you're ready, you can roll to your right side, bring your knees up towards your chest, and just stay there for a moment. Make your way up to seated when you're ready. Sit comfortably, bring your hands together to your heart, close your eyes. Notice how you feel. Two very different formats of yoga, but they complement each other really nicely. So I hope you enjoyed opening the vault with me today and going back to September 22nd, 2018. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.